I am sitting in our garden about to take a few weeds out and feed them to the chickens and ducks because while they are valuable, this space is limited, and we have kale and arugula and stuff coming back from last year. Okay, so we are in our raised garden bed. Last year we had kale, arugula, Brussels sprouts, cabbage, all kinds of stuff. As of now, we have several different types of kale coming back. Arugula, I believe so as well. And, well, I think there's some things I'm going to have to take out. This almost looks like mullein, which if it is mullein, I would like to keep. This, my friend, does look like a weed, but see, I'm so scared to take anything out. Anyway, I went through I've gone through like old videos a lot because I've filmed a lot of my life, but I focused more on videos from when I first moved here, and that has been really great because, I mean, it's the progression of my life here has been incredible, and I've been struggling a lot recently with shame and with shame, with grief. I realized that I have been denying myself of grieving and mourning, and as much as I advocate for being authentic with your emotions and being vulnerable and things like that, I realized that I have not fully been giving myself that space, and I've really been yearning for it, but then I find a way to put myself over. Anyway, so I focused on videos from when I first moved here, and I got to rock climb, and I was camping and car camping, and girl was like crying a lot, but I was always encouraging you to be honest with your emotions and be vulnerable. So it's interesting because I'd be like straight faced or like happy like right now, telling you, I'm being inspirational regarding emotional and mental health and things we go through in the pain and feel it to heal it type of thing. And there's I was talking a lot about manifestation, as I do, and then I'm just super red-faced, just like bawling, crying. And then I'm like, see, that's what I mean, feel your emotions. And then the next slide, I'm like, and I have like an intuitive answer. I think I was like, fear, insecurity, etc., etc., etc. I was talking about how they are here as a teacher, as a guidance, as a indicator of maybe the fact that we're depriving ourselves of our own needs. And I'm just like, that wasn't like a 3-minute span of having that feeling, and obviously it's feelings that I had been having for a long time. I mean, these things aren't, trauma doesn't just happen to you right now and then like go away. You don't have to be responding to or feeling right now something that, it doesn't have to have happened recently. The things that you're struggling with and feeling and the pain that you're feeling doesn't have to be over something that was recent. I mean, that's what trauma is. It affects the body, the mind, the brain. There's a dandelion in here. I'm also kind of cool. I'm actually super cool with that because I don't think we got any last year. Dandelions are not weeds. Dandelions are medicine. And I think that's a tomato. That's totally a tomato leaf. I'm also filming on my iPad because I boot looped so many phones because of storage issues, and that's been something that's been happening for years, and I'm going to have to fix it. I don't think that's meant to be here. Ryan, oh, well, they all fell down, but Ryan got half-inch PVC pipes to bend over the raised bed so they can have some shade, because where we're at right now, it has to have cover, otherwise you just get burnt up to a crisp. But that's not gonna happen this year. It's really funny how we deprive ourselves of doing the very things that we need to, that will nourish us, that will heal us, that will fulfill us. And I'm just like scooping these out because if there's anything I can save, yeah, he's saying those roots feel like they're still pretty in there. The baby. And this, don't think it needs to be here. What was I saying? I for a fact, I'm not going to speak vaguely. I have been depriving myself of nature, gardening, hanging out with my animals, meal planning, cleaning, nourishing the house, canning, fermenting stuff, doing yoga, meditating, finding a good therapist. Like, all the things get done, and I do very many things, but I want to be slow and present and gentle about it, and I want to feel like I'm actually in the moment, like this is my home, like this body is my experience. I want to feel like this experience is mine. Like, I am looking at these mountains. I'm seeing the mountain range that is, I think it's east of Salida, and you know, there's this maybe I can give you an idea. Yeah, see, it's not so bad. It's a mess back there, but you know, that's what real life is like. That's what having a farm is like. That's what having a mind is like. That's what having emotions and trauma is like. It's messy and it's disorganized, and things don't always go as planned, and expectations and plans often get interrupted. I'm saying all this because I have been so blessed and taken care of, and I feel like I have met my version of success. And you know, it's hard to say that because there's still so much struggle that I feel. There's still things I need to do, like the process of fixing my teeth, that logically seems huge, like impossible, but in terms of energy and manifestation, I have no doubt in my mind that it's going to be taken care of. But I've been really drowned by shame, and I realized that I've been working to try to earn worthiness, to try to earn my partner, to try to earn having the position that I do in this life. And at times it's made me very angry and project my resentment and angst and insecurity and feelings of unworthiness onto others. Gosh, more Aspen's coming up. Ryan's not gonna like that where that's at. I'm gonna have to move that. I've been in this beautiful life for now like 2 years, and it's been hard to receive it. It's been hard to accept it. It's been hard to not feel like an imposter. And it's hard because life has turned into very good and very nice and successful and blessed, but I still have trauma. I still have grief. I still have a dead parent. I still have one that's not active in my life. I still have traumatic memories that are coming back. I still have weird nostalgic feelings. I have big parts of my life I don't feel like I can remember, and somehow some part of me feels like I still have not struggled enough to earn this. So then I work, or I try to serve, or I try to do whatever to earn it, but then I have this yearning to be present, to be gentle, to be in the garden, in the home, tending food, tending myself, go hike, go like hold a duck, go play with them, run around with the dogs, like, and it's just living. But I think it's like this resistance to coming out of survival mode. It's a scarcity and a resistance to come out of it, because what if I get tricked? But I realize I'm the only one being the bully to myself. I'm the only one depriving myself and sabotaging myself of the truest, purest, most present experience of the beautiful life that I'm living. And I think I had a hard time admitting that I wanted this. And so I've had a hard time receiving it, and even just taking the time. And I've gotten in cycles of just like scrolling on social media, or, you know, like depression, just like not like taking care of myself enough, like not making this space like decorative, you know, like just clutter and stuff. And that's kind of like the environment that I grew up in. And so I know you recreate the familiar chaos. You recreate it, which can just be a lesson, and you can get through it, and you don't have to recreate it. You don't have to keep recreating it. You can break that cycle. Or you keep recreating the same chaos that you were used to because it's familiar. But I'm not going to do that to myself. I'm not going to do that to my younger self. I'm not going to do that to my past self that went through so much stuff that now feels like almost disgraceful to talk about. It's starting to rain. I really don't want to take some of this stuff out. I think it's probably all just like weeds. Like, I mean, we don't really get green grass out here. This is beautiful. And this is pretty cool. I feel like it's probably got like some kind of flower. But right now, this is the room that we have for the raised bed. And we have one over there, like an L-shaped one. But that's for like berries and stuff that will come back. I'm so excited to see so many things come back. Plants and life and nature really talk a lot about, or show a lot about, resilience and a regenerative way of being, survival. It's really inspiring to the wounded person. So cute, isn't it? My partner is just amazing. I mean, he just had these. Like, I always think he has junk around, but he just had these. And it's perfect. Ha! No. Gotta go to the hardware store, and it's storming about. Kind of. Oh my lord. Oh gosh. It's kind of green at the very bottom. Brussels sprouts. I don't know if I should save it. I'm gonna have to look that up. But now it's raining more, which is a good thing. But I always loved the yin and yang skies. It's blue behind me and stormy over here. So now I'm gonna put some stuff in the ground. It's actually kind of a perfect day for it because it's cloudy, it's raining, it's not gonna get baked by the sun. I do hope that we have a beautiful golden hour this evening because they have been gorgeous, and let me tell you, when you live in a place, and I know it's worse other places, but for me, when it got dark at 4:30 here and now it's like 7:38 before the sun goes down behind the mountain, like, I love it. I'm so excited, and I try to appreciate every phase of, the weather system this season. The leaves came back so quick. I'm so excited. One thing with excitement, I definitely heard in my past from someone that it's like excitement is negative, and like, yes, too much excitement can be negative, and that's why healthy shame kicks in. So says a book that I'm listening to. But as for how I'm perceiving it in terms of nature, I'm so excited for it to get warmer, green, etc., blooming, harvesting. But I'm excited just to be in this present moment, and that's what I want most, is to be intimately interactive and an interactive participant in every single moment of my life and my experience. And I want to appreciate all of it, and I don't want to look forward to something else too much because I want to be right here, and I want to have motivation and faith and a knowing and a belief that good things are still coming, and etc. I always want to achieve and impact and experience more, like, as long as I'm alive. But there's so much more offered just in the present moment when you are here. I'm looking at these mountains that are like
miles and miles away. I mean, there's like snow up there. Like, this tree would not have these green leaves, and there's snow up there. Like, even though it's iPad quality, you can tell that snow up there, like these trees would not be this green up there. It is just, it's miraculous. If you really, really, really just get present, like just slow down a little bit. And yeah, sure, maybe smoke a little weed, but whatever. Just give yourself credit for how much you've come through, how strong you are, how much you've achieved, how much, just give yourself credit. Like I know I've come so far and I've been so fucking hard on myself, so I know I'm not the only one doing it to myself. I know I'm not the only one hurting and depriving myself of joy and self-sabotaging. I know I'm not the only one that's rejected the beautiful... Hi! Hummingbird. I know I'm not the only one that has been rejecting beautiful experiences of my life out of not feeling worthy of having them. I know I'm not the only one that has deprived myself of joy as a result of conditioning and familiarity. Yeah, that's so cool. Okay, it's green and the sun is shining up there. And then it's like stormy and snowy up there. Well, it's snowy up there too. I don't know. It's just so gorgeous.
So we've all been guilty of procrastination at one time in our life, if not another. I noticed that I get really in my head and stressed out, anxious, shame, overpressuring, overexpecting, just making physical lists of all these things I need to do. And then it kind of exhausts my mind and my emotions and my body. And then I feel exhausted, like I can't do some of the most simple things. And if you struggle with depression or fatigue or anything like that, you understand in here. But look at that flower. Look at that flower. Beautiful. Beautiful. Anyway, we all procrastinate, but really if you just do one simple thing, it helps you to realize that it's not that hard. It's not that dreadful. You've probably made it dreadful in your mind because if you've been telling yourself, I need to do this, 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 if you haven't been doing it, then you've probably chalked it up in your brain as being something that is like rocket science, like that hard to do, when in reality, it's just as simple as putting some plants in the ground. I know because I do that myself. The littlest things can seem like impossible tasks, especially when you overwhelm yourself, when you're fatigued, when you're overstimulated, when you have not been nourishing yourself, then yeah, the most simple things can seem like they are going to be impossible. But you know what? It's not impossible. It's just plants, and it's just a shovel, and do we do new soil? Maybe. Hold on. And also, it's just taking a video while I do it because I've wanted to share my life and my journey for so long. I know it's a millennial, it's a modern day thing to do, but I've loved, whatever. I've been a writer and an artist in these forms since I was a kid, and I love it. I like it, but I haven't done it. I haven't done it nearly enough because shame, disbelief, fear, limiting beliefs. I know I probably need to take this out, but like it's pretty deep in there, so either it would suck that I'm taking it out if it's deep in there and it's something good, but I don't think it's what we want in our produce garden. Oh my god. You can hear some of you just telling me to rip it out. There we go. See? You just gotta uproot your limiting beliefs. Just like, don't just rip them out. You gotta uproot them. You gotta get in there and get it out of your subconscious and your psyche or your garden, whether we're talking about plants or limiting beliefs. So Ryan got us a household record player, and because of that, and old records that he had that he thought were probably damaged, that he probably just took in from someone for free, he was going to use for decoration of some sort, which is still a great idea. Because of the records that he already had and the record player that he got, I learned the song 50 Ways to Leave Your Lover. And obviously, I'm not a supporter of the meaning, or like I don't need it. The meaning doesn't resonate with me, but it's so damn catchy. It's like, get on the bus, Gus, make a new plan, Stan. Don't gotta be coy, Roy. Something, something. But anyway. Does anyone know if Brussels sprouts come back? Not like you can tell me right there. Okay, I feel like I just kind of want to like chaos garden in the sense of just putting them wherever I want. I love it. I love it. We're actually getting thunder. I'm like, I love it. I love it. I get shocked by lightning. Basil, you do well. Sorry, I don't know what that was. Alrighty, Italian parsley. I'm like, it's funny the lack mindset setting in, because I feel like I'm like, I don't want to plant this out here because I want inside, but I want it inside and outdoor, functional, harvestable, year-round garden. But I think there's a lot to learn in that too, because even if you have a year-round garden, it doesn't mean it's going to be producing all year. So there's a harvest season. But there's a dude in Colorado that grows bananas and coffee plant and stuff like that in a greenhouse that he attached to his house, and I'm so gonna do that. That's gonna get bigger than that. At least you gotta give it room to get bigger than that. Gotta be cool. And I'm like already so excited because I want to put more garden beds out here, and then part of me is like, is it too late in the season? Whatever. But no, it's not too late. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna love it. I'm just gonna take care of all the plants. I was just videoing, and then I wasn't. I thought I was videoing, but I wasn't. So these basil have flowered, so I don't actually know if I should be planting them. I think probably not, but I'm going to anyway. I should have researched it. I should have known before, but I am just doing this because I have been struggling and been overwhelmed and overstimulated, and I just need to be grounded, and these plants need to go in the ground. And you can always change and you can always evolve. If some of these shouldn't be planted, even if it's disturbing to the oil or whatever, or oil, did I say oil? The soil or whatever, even if it disturbs it a little bit, it's fine. I can change it. I can change it. So, dill, baby, no, garlic chives. I am putting the herbs pretty close together, because I do want to make the most of this room we have, because we just don't have other raised garden beds, although we do have a significant amount of, actually we have one right there. Oh, I'm silly, jeez, okay. Anyway, I'm doing this because I've been struggling, and the smallest tasks have seemed to be really difficult. So even if I'm not doing it perfectly, I'm doing it, and that is really, truly what matters right now. Truly. Because I've spent every day for the last week, like every day I've cried or felt weird or out of it, like things been feeling the weird feels. And, you know, I've been dreading just the things that I need and get to and want to do too much, and I've just been putting too much on myself, and this has been for a long time, like, and that's the thing, I even feel shame about how long I've been struggling with these things, but shame's not gonna help me get out of it. Shame's not gonna help me fix the things that have never, like, that seem to have impeded my personal life or work life or relationship or my own creative life. Shame isn't gonna help that. So I'm doing something right now that is good. Even if it's not perfect, it's good. And you know, it kind of fits. Doing it a little bit more chaotic fits me, because my life has been chaotic and not everything is all serene, and even if it looks like it is in pictures,
It might not be. I'm gonna make it a mess. I'm doing it quick. But that's the thing, it's not hard to do, and it's a good thing to do. So go get in some dirt. Lettuce. That caterpillars were totally tearing these up, but we put the caterpillars in a container with their own lettuce, and they cocooned up, and they might turn into little butterfly. They're like white, look kind of like moths, but I don't think they are. So okay. So now see, I also am afraid. I'm afraid you are not meant to be here. Don't know, but I think this is a small tomato plant there, but I could totally, absolutely be wrong. Anyway, I'm gonna put the lettuce in over here. And it's what we did last year. You know, if you are watching this and you're able to, just go sit outside. Like, go take your shoes off and go put your feet in the soil outside. Go put your hand on a tree. Go look your animal in their eye and see if you feel that stillness and connection. I would highly encourage it. But again, it could be better. It could be more ideal than how I'm doing this right now. But I'm doing it, and right now that's what is important to me, because oh my gosh, everything has just felt so hard, even if I know it's not something that's difficult. And by this point, if you're here, I feel like you probably understand what I'm talking about, or can at least sympathize with it. Life is hard, guys. I hate the narrative. Life has inevitable difficulties and adversities and struggles, but it's not bad. It's just part of the journey. It helps you enjoy the simple moments. Like, I can't tell you how much I love just like having dirt on my feet, and even this little bracelet. I told Ryan I wanted an anklet again, and it reminds me a lot of a bracelet that the gal I got to rock climb with when I was camping here living in 4 Mile made me, and I think I wore it on my ankle for a long time before it stretched out and broke. Little babies. Alright. These leaves I can totally feed to the birds. Don't let any get a waste. I'm so excited to actually put this video together too, because that's another one of those things I've wanted to do for so long, like I said, and I've really held myself back. I mean, I really didn't share much of my life when I was living in a car, which you would think that I probably would. Very clickbaity, very interesting. I mean, it's interesting. It's a radical way of living, and you know, it's become more normal. We have a patch of dandelions over there in our yard, and I'm super excited about that. I think they're actually in a spot that I can harvest. If they were like there's like one that pops up by the driveway, but I wouldn't harvest that because runoff from vehicles, unfortunately. Yeah. Although, it might be dog shit around dandelions that I see in the yard, so probably still better than road runoff, though. Anywho. Yeah, I'm excited to put this video together. I'm manifesting that it'll be with ease. I'm gonna enjoy myself, and I'm gonna show myself that, you know, it's easy for me to have the time and take the time to do the things that I want to do the things that light me up, to do the things that nurture and nourish me and my creativity and my purpose and what drives me and what gives me meaning and what helps me to be the best version of myself. Because when I'm the best version of myself and taking care of myself the most, when we are taking care of ourselves and when we are thriving, then we're in such a better position to be able to help others. And like, that's, you know, with anything, your health, money, like what you're able to do, people that want to help others, people that want to do good in this world need to take care of themselves and need to thrive and need to succeed in that so that they can continue to help the world. Separated. Because sometimes you have to take space because you have to find your own roots. Because if you're sharing each other's roots all the time, you might be sucking from each other. But sometimes you just need a little bit more space apart so you can grow. Because if you're together, you won't grow as big. But if you have a little bit of space and identity, then you'll grow bigger and thrive better together. Oh gosh, all these analogies, all this inspiration, just playing in the dirt. I highly recommend it. And I also highly recommend composting or giving scraps to your local chickens, or better yet, get your own chickens and give your scraps to them, but make sure it's organic, and then they'll encourage you to eat organic, you know? But yes, I know there's flaws with the organic industry as well. Can nothing be perfect, you know? I don't know if that is tomato. They would have been by each other if it were tomato. Well, I think I gotta get this big sucker out. I'm like hopeful that there's something useful, but then I know they're in the yard, so sure they're useful for our animals. I just don't think there's something we can harvest and eat. So, shake it off. And for the animals, it goes. See, now that song is stuck in my head. 50 ways to leave a lover. Don't do it. Don't leave them unless you need to. Ah, that was easy. Your roots aren't deep here, fellow. You're still looking for a place. Don't let me forget you. So, I had just put some lettuce in the ground and some pieces of it were broken, and I just went ahead and took pieces off of it. So I talked about how, you know, sometimes we have to prune ourselves back and it's scary to take the foliage off that's not thriving, that's holding your growth back. Even though it's taking from your energy source, it's scary to do that because you're afraid to lose yourself. But sometimes we've got to prune ourselves back. We've got to prune certain habits or, you know, memories or people or places or dynamics or things in our life, parts of ourselves. We have to prune it back to allow ourselves to fertilize our earth and our soil and to nurture ourselves and to give ourselves an environment to come back stronger. Because as a plant, as a person, if you're in a small environment, you won't be able to grow. If you're in an environment that you're outgrowing, but you are unable to, then you will stay restricted. You will stay small. 12 lettuce plants planted. Got some parsley and basil and chives planted. One thing I do have to mention, it does suck that our gardening stuff comes in plastic that will just turn into microplastic, degrade into the earth, whatever. That's unfortunate, but I guess that's the solution to that. We'll be learning to do things from seed, to seed your own harvests. I guess that's the answer to that, isn't it? So, all of this stuff that we took out is going to go to the animals, and there's actually some more to grab out of there too. And the sun's coming out. Yes. So so thankful for the sun. See? Gardening stuff and plastic. And I don't know about this, if I think it's good or not. I mean, I could just look it up right now, but waves are starting to come back on the cottonwood above this baby. Oh my gosh, the season hasn't even started. And part of me is afraid of the warm season, the grow season, the harvest season being over. But that's why I have to be present when and where you are, and don't look forward to the future too much, so that you can use that energy and focus to be here in the present. This one's like, it's really in there. It's just so nice to touch the dirt. Oh, and also, don't wear gloves while you're gardening if you don't have to. I mean, fortunately, there's no pests that I'm really worried about for my feet or my hands, but like, don't put rubber on when you're messing with just your own plants and stuff. Like, you defeat the purpose of you being connected to the earth if you do that. You defeat the ability, the connection between yourself and the earth if you do that. You gotta be skin on skin with Mama Earth. Ain't nothing wrong with that. And for some reason I hear the song Yellow Sea in my head. I love that song. Thank you, Earth, for your beautiful sustenance and harvest of your own. Some pretty grass. I just think it's nice. Nonetheless, things do have to be cleared out so as to take care of the earth, the soil, and the plants that this plot of soil is serving, because these guys are going to need the energy, the sun, the water, the nutrients that's offered in this bed. So this is what we have to give to the animals. Okay. The animals don't need the soil. And if you haven't met our animal crew, I'll have to do that in a video. But don't worry, it will be better than iPad quality. See, I love that. Do you love that? Because, like, I love that. Don't be weird about that, actually, because people are weird about feet. But no, I just love being barefoot. Like, I love being in the dirt. I absolutely adore it. It is incredible. And the warmth of the sun, like, come on. Beautiful. Now, let's take this to the animals. I see our goose and duck put themselves back in their habitat, and everyone's excited. And I do have to say also, the plastic I don't love. There were ones we salvaged, but I think I'm gonna grab metal ones very soon, because honestly, like, plastic hummingbird feeders or pools or water troughs for animals, while very common, I mean, you know, obviously probably not great, because plastic, microplastics, etc., seep in through the water, into the ground around. So just wanted to mention that, because I know I can probably seem at times like people that are all, I don't know, like, I call myself a holistic Karen, but I also, while I want to advocate for and be an activist for and teach about more sustainable, ethical, healthier ways of doing, being, living, creating, consuming, I also want
to be a true example, be vulnerable, be real, be authentic. So everything we do is not perfect either. You know, it's a flawed world, and it's a flawed world in a way that most of us in society have been conditioned in, but give me the change we want to see. Okay, so I did do some research on the flowering basil plant, like the basil plants that we have that are flowering. I can just cut off the flowers and the plant should come back better, and it's actually even good to harvest like half the plant if you can, which we haven't harvested them at all. So these guys, they have to go. That's good, because I thought that meant that it just ruined the whole plant, and it might, but I think you might be able to save it and it will still grow back because it's just going into reproductive mode. So we shall see. And you can put these in your kitchen and they smell so good. Oh wow. The flowers, like, oh my god, the flowers almost like a sour honeysuckle. Oh my gosh, I love them. I should have taken them off earlier. Oh. A sweet bouquet for myself. Sorry, I don't know what is with the accents. Okay. Ah. Simple things can make you happy. Okay, I think there's another basil plant inside. The parsley plant needs to be pruned some too, though. And I know Ryan is tells me just to cut it off because I know it damages the plant more. But my nails are pretty good, although that I know it frayed it, okay? But again, even if it's not perfect, I'm just happy that I'm doing it. Okay. Alright. Okay, well, I mean, I'm not happy that I buried some of the leaves there. It's art. My boyfriend knows what I mean. I always save dried flowers, and so whether they look like shit or not, Ryan will have to pause and ask me before throwing out some flowers in the compost or whatever, be like, is it art? Well, the sun came out. Hopefully it's not going to bake them. Maybe I should go get some brackets to put the sunshade up, because the storms don't last, which is lovely. And I was also reminded today by a piece of my old art, storms birth life, which is very true. Storms birth life. I appreciate all the moisture we've gotten this year, and just look. Okay, you know what's perfect? These were in the yard, I guess, from like people that lived in this house before. Anyway, they were in the yard and Ryan picked them up, put them in a glass, and you know what? It makes for good little, and I know this, like, not all of these look great, but I really don't care. I just think they're great. I think they smell nice. They do smell nice. It's not a matter of opinion. Basil just smells good. Unless you're allergic to it, I guess. Oh, but it's just fine. Like, if you could just be happy with the most simple things, this is great. Like, just watch, because don't mind the dishes. And it can come through the window and smell so good. Some strawberries that are actually looking like burbs. Look at that funky burb. I have orange mint, strawberry, tarragon, garlic chives, chamomile. But yeah, I know I'm not quite being gentle with these, but you know what? Is nature always gentle? No.
The tree that makes it through the storm is the one that is flexible. The ones that are rigid are the ones that break. So, you know, you gotta kind of condition yourself, these plants, everything to be a little bit tough. But, oh, well, I didn't even realize that one was fucking failing so much. Yeah, we're gonna have to work on that. See, that's why I wasn't being careful with them. Is because I know right now they just need to be out here. Okay, so just to let you know, you're not the only one. The lavender molded. I'm sure I can just cut it back and it'll still make it, but just so you know, life's not perfect, gardening is not perfect, farming is not perfect. Being a person is not perfect. It's not a perfect process, but that's fine. That is fine. Now what I've got left is just flowers. I'm gonna leave those because these guys are the priority, and the flowers are not gonna be planted in the raised beds out there, so. Trying not to drop plants. Honey, hi girl. Oh God. See, just be a little chaotic, why not? All right, so yeah, we got sage, spearmint. I think this is pickling cucumbers. I think this is another type of cucumber. I know we've got tarragon, we've got chamomile, got another chamomile, got thyme, rosemary, got cilantro, strawberries, mojito, mint, onion chives. We already have garlic chives planted. That's what we did over there. Again, it might not be perfect. It might not be set up perfect. It might not be super thought out, but I'm gonna get it done. That's what's most important. So, I think this is probably a weed. Sure looks like it. Looks like animal food. Can't quite see the whole setup, can Here our parakeet's yelling. Oh, look at that. English thyme. It's kind of purple. Not that you can see it right now. I will end up taking a video with a proper phone, proper camera of our garden. Oh, look at that. It's plants that came back last year. Okay, so yeah, I'm just gonna put it wherever the hell I please, to be honest. That's what we're gonna do. I think most of this stuff doesn't come back, which kind of a bummer. Herbs maybe do. I should check because I feel like herbs should come back, but aren't herbs amazing? You just take it and harvest the whole thing and dry it, and if you grow a lot of it, you could have probably enough for a season of cooking, and you wouldn't have to buy it from the store, and you just have to dry it and like put it in containers, and there you go. So even though you might not yield all year long, you might not get a harvest all year long, it's so cool. Yeah, being in the dirt and knowing that I'm giving myself a break, orienting myself better is making me feel better already. And it's ups and downs, and that's the thing is it's okay to have ups and downs. Like sometimes I notice that I have a hard time talking about that I'm struggling. Like I don't want to say the word struggling and attach it to myself. Or I look at the life that I'm living and I'm like, oh, people, you know, on the surface it looks like it's just happy. Okay, I have officially planted all the herbs and veggies plants that we had in the raised beds. I was filming, the iPad died, so I took that as an opportunity to just be fully present with myself, with the earth, with the plants, got them all planted. And then it started raining and clouded over right as I was finishing up, which is great because we need the moisture. While I was out there, I was thinking about something about how much potential one little plant has, because I'm pretty sure that one hot spring we went to has a massive geodesic greenhouse dome. They had a massive rosemary plant and other plants. So if you think about it, we have so much potential. One small plant has so much potential, but we're like, okay, we'll put it in the ground. We'll use it for the couple months that it lasts for summer, and then we'll just uproot it or let it die or whatever. And I'm a gardening novice, but I know that there are some things that, even though they stop harvesting or go to seed or whatever, maybe you can take the seed. Maybe the plant's done after that, but whatever. Rosemary plant that I put in outside, it might grow great because of the soil, because of the exposure to the natural elements. But if I just leave it out there, it's going to die over the winter. It's going to freeze and die off. But if I bring it back in and put it in a pot with soil, fertilize it with natural fertilizer like banana water or something, it can still live its life and become such a bigger plant. I just have to give it soil, natural fertilizer, light, water, and a bigger pot than it originally came in. So that's just something that crossed my mind while I was out there finishing up the garden. So now, still need those brackets, but I got the whole garden planted. I'm so excited about that. Now I still want to get some spinach and stuff. I would really love to be able to just not have to buy greens from the store all summer. And ideally, if there's a way to have an in-home greenhouse or a way to have spinach and stuff like that producing during the winter, I would absolutely love that. But I also want plants and animals to be on natural cycles. So if it's unnatural, I don't know. I just want to be able to be as self-sustainable as possible, grow as much as harvest as much as we can for ourselves. Herbs are awesome because you can grow them, harvest them, dry them. Other things like mint and stuff like that, I'm like, well, that's better fresh. Maybe you can have small plants like that in your house year round, but bigger plants like spinach and stuff like that. The parsley one we had, it was doing really good, but then we let it die before this season came around. But like kale, spinach, your daily greens, I think I would really like. I definitely want to grow as much as I can year round. So that's the goal. So yeah, I probably have like 30 houseplants to repot. Who knows if and what I will get done today, but I got all of the herbs, berries, and veggies planted, and it's raining. It's raining. It's perfect timing. I'm so excited. Yeah. I was just singing Let It Rain and making like a remix of a country song that's sad to make it happy. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay. Woo! Come on. I'm honestly so excited. Like, I am so happy about the rain. That's so perfect. I literally, like, right after finishing all the fruits and vegetables that I have to plant, it started raining. I'm so excited. Woo! Yeah! Honey! Woo! Come here! Come here! I've never been happier about rain. Come on, Taffy. Come on. Woo! But thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. I hope you have a great day. Stay safe, stay blessed, stay abundant, and remember that your thoughts create your reality.